It's hammer time, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore Podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore Podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore Podcast starts now.
All right, well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore Podcast, brought to you by the great America's Pulse Network. I'm your host, Damon Galdo, and I have another special guest tonight, again, with Justin Murphy, running for U.S. Senate in New Jersey, and I'll bring him on right after this. I mean, you guys can see the breaking news going across the bottom. I mean, a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about in this segment is pretty much breaking news. In this episode, I'm sorry, breaking news, but today, we're going to call it straight. I mean, it's happening in Chicago. What's happening in Chicago is absolutely disgusting. I'm sure people have seen on the news. An 18-year-old oil student, gets brutally murdered by an illegal immigrant. And Mayor Brandon Johnson is out there pushing abolish ICE snowplow events, while J.B. Pritzker blames Trump instead of owning their sanctuary city failures. And by the way, New Jersey on Monday just codified us as a sanctuary state. It was an executive order, but now it's law that we are officially a sanctuary state that pays $7.3 billion a year for illegal immigrants. So just so everyone knows that. That's why we got to get out to vote. So there's families that are mourning, and these clowns are doubling down on their open borders. It's enough. Enough is enough. So we're also going to talk about the war in Iran. I support strong action against the regime. America can't afford weakness, and when it comes down to radical threats, especially when the chaos is at our own border, shows exactly why we need to stand tall. And right here at home, here's the big one. This Saturday, tomorrow, in Camden, we're saying no Kings to Norcrosss. Myself, I'm a union carpenter, husband, father, not a career politician, and taking on the political dynasty in New Jersey's first congressional district. I'm fighting for, an affordable New Jersey, lower costs, safer streets, and better schools for our families. But incumbent Donald Norcross will be there for another paid protester, no Kings rally against Trump. So, I'll be there with quite a few people saying no more Kings in Congress as well, as the Norcross political machine feeds off of Camden and leaves the residents scraps. Remember, Congress has no term limits. The executive branch does. So the No Kings rally they're having for Trump makes no sense, but the No Kings rally for Donald Norcross, who rules Camden in this district and feeds off of all the people there in Camden, they had no term limits. So this is the Jersey Shore. No spin, no excuses, just the truth in South Jersey. So I'm going to bring on our first guest right now. Let's go to it. Hello, Justin. How you doing?
Good evening, Damon Galdo. Congratulations on submitting your petitions and being the Republican nominee for CD1.
Thank you. And everyone, all the listeners out there, too, just remember, like and subscribe. And you can put something in the chat box. We'll be able to see it. And I know Justin's having a little technical difficulties, so you'll see him freezing up here and there, but we can hear him good enough. It's probably the Democrats out. Now that you're on the ballot, Democrats are outside your house cutting your Wi-Fi lines. That's probably
that or one of my Republican opponents.
Yeah, that could be it too.
Yeah.
So, but So that's how I'm going to play this first clip, and then we'll go with that. We have a few clips in this first hammer segment, and why it's called a hammer segment is because I have a golden hammer, and it's a long-standing joke. Seth, our other podcaster from Conservative Corner, just started naming me the Hammer for some reason. So
the Hammer.
I named him, and he's the pirate because he's a Navy guy. So I got him a little blown up sword, and then he called me the Hammer. So I just painted a sledgehammer gold. Stupid joke, but it's fun. But yeah, let's roll this first clip here.
The other day, the young lady whose life would be saved if we did what we did. This young lady would be around today if we were around. This man came in, Dan, right? And he came in through the ridiculous open border of Biden.
I'm not a rabid Trump supporter or hater. But if you're going to blame the federal government, then blame it where this problem began, which was under the Biden-Harris administration that allowed 15 million people from South America, Central America, and across the oceans to come through our southern borders, manipulate asylum, be poorly vetted, and then scattered to.
So that right there, I mean, Trump is right about that. I can't get away from that. It just, what bothers me most, and you're going to see it in the next clips, Justin, the way they reacted to it, the mayor and the governor of Illinois. And that girl will still be alive if that guy wasn't allowed in through the open borders. I think it was 2023. Mm-hmm. Came over the Biden era, and they released him. And for whatever reason, he just shot the girl in the back. She was with her friends. So,
I mean, what at this point, Damon, what can you say? I mean, how many times have we read this news story in the past number of years? How many Americans have been murdered? It's in hundreds right now, I think. And if you include the violent attacks, the rape, the assaults, the robbery, the theft, the violence inflicted, to include murder, you're into the thousands of American citizens that have incurred this type of hardship and disruption to their life, not to mention their families, at the hands of an illegal alien with a criminal history, probably deported, snuck back in. That has happened a number of times. But at this point, I mean, how many times do we have to ring this alarm bell? Obviously, the Democrat Party has made it very clear that their priority is the criminal illegal alien, not the American citizen. That means the Republican Party really has to step in and fill that void. Because if it wasn't for the Republican Party going to bat for the American citizen and the crime victim, they would have no voice. They would have nobody ensuring that, government's first responsibility is to protect its citizens, their physical safety. And there's obviously the complete breakdown in the Biden era. There's a lot of residue from that 4-year open border, and it's going to take years to get this mess cleaned up. I mean, right now, I think DHS has reported that 3 million illegal aliens have been deported or self-deported. We have another million that have deportation orders that have to be tracked down and deported. I mean, but just how many times do we have to hear this in the news that an American citizen, and usually it's a young female, young women raped, assault, brutalized, murdered, stalked, shot, stabbed, strangled to death. I mean, how many times do we have to go through this? It's a rallying cry for the American people, but it has to manifest itself politically, where the American people look very clearly and say, the Democrat Party is the party of the criminal illegal alien. The Republican Party is the party of a secure border, legal immigration, citizenship, rule of law, and safe streets. And so those are the points that really have to be developed so that this issue, that's a tragedy after tragic event, can manifest itself politically to a remedy. And that is, we cannot go back. First thing is we have to make sure that we win this November. We cannot go back to the days of an open border. We see what that's bringing us. But the Republican Party needs to be on offense, and I plan to be on offense. I know you do also, to make sure this is a very well-known issue and put the Democrats on notice and hold their feet to the fire. How do you defend this? How do you defend this? And it's indefensible.
Well, how do we defend it is to get people out to vote. Get these, because it really pisses me off. These scumbags, I'm going to say, they need to get out of office. People need to get out there and vote. Yeah. And we really need to do that, because that is the way our system works. I mean, you can't just go and then remove them by hand. You have to go at the ballot box. That's the way it is. And we need people to care about these things and get out to vote. And I want to show you another clip here. And I mean, it's disgusting. Let's roll the next one.
guess, take in all that you all have been waiting for. This moment is finally here. The snowplow with the most votes, most entries, abolish ICE. Thank you very much. Hold on, I want to get a chance to marvel myself. All right.
Now, Justin, that was less than a week after that young girl was shot in the back of the head by an illegal immigrant, and he's still saying abolish ICE, and he was a marvel at his new ICE remover snowplow. What is wrong with that man?
Damon, first of all, would you have ever thought possible that the people of Chicago would elect a mayor worse than Lori Lightfoot? And they found a way to do it with this guy. But it's indicative. It does show you what that party has become. They have become a dysfunctional, detached from reality cesspool of hate, anger, bitterness. And they're aware of what these crime victims go. They're aware this girl was shot. They're aware that one was stabbed. They're aware that one was raped. But they think it's worth it for multiculturalism and diversity, and they just think it's worth it. It's something we have to put up with as a country to get to whatever utopian they're trying to take us to.
And for votes.
For votes, it's the next generation of voters. It's to never, under any circumstance, find common ground with Donald Trump. That's absolutely illegal in the Democrat Party. That's something that the Democrat base will not permit a single elected Democrat to do. Find common ground with the Republicans and Donald Trump and work to get some things done. Now, John Fetterman is the only one that's been vocal enough and brave enough to do that. And what's going to happen to him. He'll have a primary challenge, maybe more than one opponent, and the next time he's up for election, which I think might be 28, but he'll have one just for trying to be a statesman and doing the right thing and doing the right thing for Pennsylvania, the state he represents, and the country. But this is what this party has become so broken down. The really fascinating thing is, as dysfunctional as Democrats are, as violent, militant, hate-filled, Trump derangement syndrome, I mean, as nuts as they have become, off the rail train wreck, and they are, you have to wonder, how are they even viable as a political party in this country? They should be banished to the wind. I mean, it's kind of insane. It's not like when you hear this, it's like, oh, that's the fringe of the Democrat Party. No, that's the rank and file base of the Democrat Party, which is now getting elected officials from the Democrat Party to echo all these points. That's why you have the Rashida Tlaibs, the Ilhan Omars, the Presleys, the Jasmine Crockett's. I mean, this is how they're getting elected, AOCs. And it's amazing when you watch the deterioration of that party. Now, it really has to manifest itself politically, where they start losing elections en masse to put a stop to it. Either they'll wither away on the vine, which I hope they do, or they would be able to change direction, move to the center a little bit, and be a little more reasonable. But as of right now, that party's been hijacked by a bunch of deranged lunatics, and which is why they have, and I say this often when I speak, nationally, the Democrat Party has hemorrhaged millions of voters have left that party, and they should. It's no longer the party of the blue-collar worker or FDR, blue-collar Depression-era World War II Democrat. They're no longer the party of JFK. I mean, they're not. They've just moved so far left, and there doesn't seem to be an end to it. They just keep pushing further and further left, and until they're met with some resistance at the ballot box, America can expect them to continue to poison our culture and our political system with lawfare and violence.
No, you're right about that. And I would say, I call them Reagan Democrats. Common sense. So, but
Democrats, yeah,
it's a party itself. I mean, that is going too far left. The ones that are elected, and the one thing is, when I get a chance to talk to I will say a normal Democrat, because I used to be one back in the day, and they'll have the conversation with you, you see that you have a lot in common. Like, it's saying, okay, yeah, so we're kind of on the same page. They don't believe in the men playing women's sports. They don't believe in transing kids. They don't believe in all that crazy far left stuff. Now, there's people that are far right too. I don't like the far right either. I want to start a common sense party. I mean, at this point, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, that's just like, come on. I don't know where we're going in this world. And I don't understand how people still vote for them.
I don't. I mean, one of the things you have to look at is, and I say this is how Mikey got elected. This is how Mom Donnie in New York. What's getting these people elected, Damon, more than anything, is not an acceptance. It's not an acceptance by a broad number of Americans. Thankfully, it's apathy.
Yeah.
We've got more people sitting home than voting in just about every election in this country, except a few governor's races and a presidential race where you get a little bit over 50%. We have more people sitting home than voting, and that's a dangerous thing for a constitutional republic, or representative government, representative constitutional republic, and we cannot survive, in my opinion, or function the way we should, at least optimally, if we are not increasing our turnout. I mean, look, what's going to happen to November? About a third of the voter will come out. About 2/3 of the voters this November will be sitting home. What's going to happen the June 2nd Republican primary? In all likelihood, well over 1 million registered Republicans will be sitting home, not voting. This is how these people are getting elected. This is how these people are getting elected, and it's kind of scary because at some point, you've run before, you work hard, you do your advertising, you knock on the door. I mean, what do you have to do to get people to be receptive? And sometimes there's no answer. They're just not. The voter is just not receptive. They're sick of all politicians, both parties, and unfortunately, that's one of the things we have to fight through. But it's really it's concerning because the turnouts are so low.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope it gets better because I'm going to play another clip. And thanks for two people that said hello and hi. You guys can ask a question if you'd like. I can see it there. And Justin has like a little bit of technical difficulties, but we can hear him fine. It's just freezing up here and there. It's like I said, it's either his opponent or the Democrats cutting his Wi-Fi cables. But let's roll this other clip.
I agree, there have been real failures. Those failures, of course, extend beyond the borders of Illinois. They're national failures, a failure to have comprehensive immigration reform, a failure of the president to follow his own edict.
I cut a little short there. He says his own edict to come out and remove the worst of the worst, he said, with immigrants. Now, they're blocking. They're trying to block Trump, not Trump per se, but ICE to come in and remove the people. And then he has the audacity and the gall to actually blame Trump and the federal government. He said it's a national issue too. No, it's your issue. You're the governor of that state, and you will not. You're fighting tooth and nail to get ICE out of there. I mean, I could imagine. I know that the family is very, very, very upset. I mean, not just obviously because the tragedy of their daughter, but they're upset with Pritzker and Johnson as well. And I could, if I was the father of that daughter and I heard one of them say that, I don't know how I would react, to be honest with you.
Well, look, I mean, it's one Democrat politician letting the country down after another. I mean, if Governor Pritzker was serious, and he's not, about reducing crime and dealing with the immigration problem where he could do it at the state level, there's Section 287G of the INA, the Immigration Nationality Act, okay, where local and state law enforcement can basically be deputized to enforce federal immigration law working with the federal government. But what does one Democrat governor do after another? They forbid their law enforcement and their law enforcement institutions and resources from working with the federal government to deal with the immigration problem, to deal with deportation, with gathering up people with immigration deportation orders already signed. They go out of their way to obstruct it. They go out of their way to vilify, and then to beat this drum in the public airwaves that ICE agents are Nazis and the Gestapo and the Trump administration is executing American people on the street. Their derangement is it's just incalculable sometimes. They're that dysfunctional, that hateful. What is so wrong with your life that you've become so hateful, either to Donald Trump or the country or Republicans? But Governor Pritzker, if he was serious, he has opportunity to work with the federal government, not against it. He has opportunity to facilitate law enforcement and immigration enforcement. He clearly won't take it. He won't exercise his powers. He won't do it. He'll continue to do what every Democrat is now required to do. Don't ever attempt to find common ground with Donald Trump or the Republicans, or you will pay an existential political price. It could be the end of your political career, period. And so that's where they're stuck. That's where they're stuck on stupid, stuck in that rut of hate and myopia and incivility and intolerance, because you cannot, as a Democrat, say that you want to find common ground with Donald Trump, or that, hey, or maybe our policies of sanctuary state and sanctuary city are attracting the wrong people to our state. And it is. They're attracting criminals.
Of course. Why wouldn't they want to come? It's a sanctuary state.
Of course. They're of course. Of course. I mean, if Mr. Pritzker went to a podium and said, we're no longer a sanctuary state, we will be working with the federal government to track down illegal aliens that are criminals, and we will have them deported. Does that attract or disincentivize people to come to the state? It disincentivizes illegal aliens to go to his cities and state. Yeah. But they know this, but they're also they box themselves into a corner. They cannot appear to be moderate, or they cannot appear to be on the side of rule of law. They cannot appear to support law enforcement. They cannot appear to work with the Trump administration on any matter, let alone immigration enforcement. And this is what we're stuck with. These communities are at risk. The quality of life, it drops through the floor. It's in the gutter. People are not safe, and these innocent lives. And it's mostly young women. So I'm waiting for Code Pink any minute now to jump into the debate. It's mostly young women. I'm waiting for the feminists to.
Yeah, they should.
Where are they? Where are they?
Yeah,
Where are they?
I don't know, but I just see this Kevin just put something up there. Said, like I said, you back Trump, just asking before I decide to stay or move on. So it's up to you if you want to stay or move on. I back any president, my president all the time. It doesn't matter the president. If you want to know if I agree with most of his policies, if I voted for him, yes, I do. Do I disagree with him on other things? Yes, I do. But I'm Damon Galdo. This is Justin Murphy. We're not Donald Trump. We're just Republicans. So I've never met the man, don't know him, but I agree with majority. When I vote for somebody, when I have a Kamala and a Trump, and I mean, come on, it was an easy one. I mean, if I agree with 60% of what that candidate policies are, then obviously it's a numbers game for me. That's all I want to vote for, especially when I have two choices. So that's your answer, Kevin. So you're saying if you would like or not, but yeah, I back the president. Did I like Biden? No, I didn't like him. So
yeah.
So I don't like Biden at all, but he still I respected him even though he was half dead the whole time. But at least
Joe was, Damon, I'm wondering, I'm really wondering. Obviously, there was a cabal. There was a group of people that were collectively running the White House. Biden could not do it. He was not cognitively sharp enough to be able to do that.
Oh,
I'm wondering if he really. I'm wondering if these people said to him, Joe, the border's secure. We got everything taken care of. I'm serious, and I think he bought it. Maybe he believed these people who knew they were lying to him, and he would go out there and parrot whatever they say. I mean, I'm serious.
He kept saying we need Congress to close the border. Like, no.
Which no, we don't. We know that now. We know that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. So I know, man. That was a rough 4 years. So but I like what Trump's doing right now. I mean, there's some things I disagree with always. Sometimes I'm like a little bit, but he's a character, so he is, and there's some things that he, even with Iran, we're going to get into that. So you know what, I want to play one more clip, and then we're going to take a break. I just want to show you some more stuff, and we'll take a break after that clip, and we're going to talk about peace through strength in the next Hammer segment.
Anything to avoid calling a killer. To add further insult, Alderwoman Maria Hadden implied it was the victim's fault for being in the wrong.
I don't know what happened to that clip.
Wrong place at the wrong time. It's all, and here's Democrats, the victim's fault. That's your Democrat Party message today. That's the soundbite. That's the talking point. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not that the illegal alien was in the wrong country at the wrong time. He shouldn't have been here, but blame the victim.
Yeah, and then Loyola school newspaper, they actually put out a newsletter. She attended that school, and they said an illegal immigrant. She was killed by an illegal immigrant. They retracted it and apologized for calling
for
her.
using that term. Yeah, this is the madness of DEI and CRT on steroids, and what they have infected a lot of our culture and our subcultures. It's insane to think that you would have to do that. Like he's an illegal alien. He's in the country illegally, and he's an alien. That there's nothing really negative about that. It's just what the accurate description is. It's the accurate legal determination. But the left has decided, no, that's a bad thing. Well, what would you like to call them? An undocumented person? Now it's an undocumented American. Look, immigration needs to be legal. It needs to be controlled. It needs to benefit our workforce, our country, our economy, and our culture. It needs to be enforced, federal immigration law. And then when you come here to the country, when you come legally, you are required to assimilate. That's how immigration works. And that's why the American melting pot has been so successful. Immigration was never like this, where millions upon millions of people just flowed into the country. You didn't know where they were from, what they were doing, between points of entry, gotaways. I mean, this is the gang members, the drug running, the human trafficking. This is not immigration. This is a controlled process to destroy the country, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a huge winning issue for Republicans. Democrats lose on this, but again, they're stuck. They have to pander to their base that will not allow them to do or adopt any other disposition.
Yeah, and I'll leave this segment with this too. Even illegal immigrants came over here. Now, listen, I'm not saying they're all bad, some work and all that. So should we find people who've been here a long time to actually work and find a pathway to citizenship? Should we help them out a little bit? Yeah, sure. But the criminals, remember when J.D. Vance had that interview and they took over, it was in Colorado, they took over like a apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
gang members, yeah.
Yeah, and the newscaster, I forget who it was, said, well, it was still only just the one. I'm like, it was only just the one. Oh, okay. It was just one. That's all.
Yeah, and be thankful that's the one you don't live in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then 42% of the illegals that came over the border under Biden are on welfare. So
huge.
Costs us a lot of money. I mean, and like
Huge.
I said in monologue, we pay $7.3 billion in the state of New Jersey for the illegals that are here. There's close to 900,000 of them. And
Damon, until the Democrat Party starts to lose elections, they'll continue to do this.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. And I have nothing against anybody wanting to immigrate to this country at all, just so everybody knows. It's just when you have a wide open border like Biden had, and you had somebody shoot somebody, a kid in the back of the head just by walking by, and one of the commentators said they got cut off, but she said maybe they startled her, the illegal immigrant, when she was walking by. They startled him. Okay, so it was okay for him to shoot her in the back of the head. Okay.
Well, what's he doing with a gun in the first place? I thought these sanctuary states and sanctuary cities are gun-free zones.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do? All of a sudden,
and he was arrested for shoplifting beforehand and everything else.
Carjacking, shoplifting, rape, assault, drug dealing, drug using, gang banging, criminal breaking and entering, carjacking. I mean, you murdering, rape, gun running, child sodomy. I mean, this is what Joe Biden did to him. This is what, unless he was not aware of it, this is what the modern Democrat Party is doing to America. And it is up to the Republican Party to get this mess cleaned up. And thankfully, we're doing it. We've had 3 million illegal aliens deported or self-deport. Donald Trump is rounding up the worst of the worst, and with good, thank God. Can you imagine if he was not elected in 2024? You wouldn't have a country left. You really would not have a country left. Yeah.
So, all right, Justin, with that, we're going to take a break. I know there is a clip that I have out there, too. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head if it was in this segment or next one, but we'll play it. It was about someone that raped a young person in 6 months. But we're going to we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get to, we're going to be all over the place. I put, like I said earlier, I put clips in different segments because there was a lot of them, and I didn't want to load them in the front. So just stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in a second.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just telling the story, of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
Well, that was very nice from Jeff Van Drew. It was a great interview. Jeff he actually gave me like a 32-minute interview. I wasn't expecting that, but he's a great guy. He's District 2 in New Jersey. And so I like that little plug he gave me. It was nice.
Sure.
It was great. It was a great interview, man. He's a regular guy down there. Like, he'll talk to anybody. So, Donald Norcross though. He screens every question before his town halls, and you have to put in your name, your address, your email address, your question.
Yeah. No, Democrats will continue they'll never change course until they face a political consequence. And when they act a certain way and they're reelected, why change? Why change? They don't see a need, and they have to start losing elections, which is the issue of apathy. We need more people to turn out. So
in this segment, peace through strength, I always like that terminology. So I have my Reagan speech on the wall here, my man cave. Reagan was one of my favorite presidents. But we'll get to talking about Iran and all that stuff and see what's going on there. But I have a clip to play. Like I said, it's kind of out of sequence a little bit. I just threw it in there. But check this clip out. Let's roll this one.
Okay.
A man is facing an attempted murder charge after he allegedly tried to push someone in front of an oncoming light rail train. This happened at the Northgate station last Thursday. Prosecutors say the victim was waiting for the light rail when Eliseo Melendez walked up behind him and then tried to push him in front of the train as it was coming into the station. These are still photos of the incident. Melendez has a history of mental illness and spent almost a year at Western State. He ran off but was later arrested. He is due back.
But of course,
history of mental illness. Why is he out walking the streets?
Exactly. And there's another one. I don't know. I forget if we went over this with our great producer.
Illegal alien.
Yeah. And
how did he get here?
I know.
How did he arrive?
And there's another one. I don't know if our producer got it. I forget, but I think we have it. I would actually like to try to run it in this one before we get to talk about Iran. It was a transgender illegal alien that sentence is 6 months in jail for raping a minor. And I don't know if we have that clip. If we do, let's roll it now. If not, then
Cole Suarez, a transgender illegal migrant, has pleaded guilty to stalking and raping a 14-year-old boy. It's part of a slap-on-the-wrist plea deal that will carry just a 6-month sentence, except it doesn't even do that. Suarez will get time served and be released after the official sentencing next month, unless, of course, federal immigration agents are there to slap the cuffs on again and deport the Colombian national. Suarez admitted to following the victim into the bathroom of a convenience store in New York City's East Harlem neighborhood, where he was then assaulted. When the boy left, he flagged down witnesses who alerted the police. Now, as it turns out, at the time of the incident, Suarez, who was 30 years old, was wanted in both New Jersey and Massachusetts and had an ICE detainer order. New York's sanctuary policies helped.
Another thing.
How many times do we have to hear this?
Yeah,
I mean, how many times? I mean, you run the risk now, Damon. This is happening so often that people become desensitized to it. Unfortunately, it's like it shocks your conscience, but it's so repetitive now. ICE detainer ignored, illegal immigrant, criminal alien, history of violence, inflicting a horrendous crime on an American citizen, this time a child, and he's not going to get any time in jail. I think hopefully ICE will be there to kick him the hell out of the country, which is what should happen.
You would hope so. And the thing is, too, a lot of people say, oh, well, American citizens commit way more crimes than illegal aliens. Well, no shit.
Well,
there's more people.
I add more.
Yeah, there's more people, yeah. So, but there shouldn't be one crime by an illegal that isn't here legally, shouldn't be here to commit that crime, to rape that woman, to kill that person, to whatever it may be. It's just like that one right there, like fits the far left bill 100%. Illegal transgender rapist let out of jail. I mean, that's like the far left stands for that.
It's really, I don't know what it takes at this point. I mean, hopefully, if we can get this calmed down after a few more years of the Trump administration, we can get enough law enforcement, we get enough deportation. Hopefully, we'll have enough, maybe stretch of a thought, but maybe some jurisdictions, the state, county, and municipal level will actually start to enforce law, or at least honor ICE detainers and get some of these people out of the country. Look, we're not going and rounding up anybody right now, but violent criminals. No one should object to that. No one. No one should object to removing these violent criminals from the country. No one should object to that. But the Democrat Party as a whole seems to be doing that.
I see somebody that Jim Myers said 40% of Americans are registered independent, and that's fine. That's great. I don't care. We have 200,000 registered independents in my district here, District 1. They're more than registered Republicans, and that's fine. I mean, if I was, I would put myself closer to independent. Like I'm in the middle. I'm not far right. I'm not far left. I'm again common sense. Like this stuff does not make sense to do this. Now, I used to be a Democrat and Republican because the far left went too far. And look, again, I don't agree with the far right either, like real far right. But it says you're going to find out in the midterm, buddy. High gas price, high food price, war in the Middle East, asking for $200 billion of our tax money. Rhino conservatives no longer exist. I hope they don't. I hope Rhino conservatives don't exist anymore. I really hope so. So whoever you are, yeah. So I'm not a Rhino conservative. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but yeah, have at it. I put your comment up there. So this podcast is for everybody. You can say what you want, but yeah, I will find out in the midterms. Hopefully, people wake the hell up. And so,
no, it's Damon. Like I said, just like what has to happen to spark? I mean, something happens this atrocious and horrendous to a child. You would be shocked.
Yeah, well, I guarantee who's comment here doesn't have any kids.
Yeah, probably. And the high level of apathy. But Damon, you would be shocked at the number of people that are really not aware of this issue. Like I could say, hey, there was 100 Americans killed by violent illegal immigrants, and look at you like you're crazy. They're that disengaged. They don't watch the news. They're not involved. They don't care. They don't want to hear. You would be surprised at the number of people are not fully aware of how much of a serious problem this is. They're just not aware. It doesn't affect them. They don't care. But the number is staggeringly high. And the person that last comment, high gas prices. Gasoline was $5 a gallon under Joe Biden. It's now under $3 under Donald Trump. I mean, did he complain when Biden had it over $5 a gallon? I didn't hear any complaints from the left. There's selective outrage, again, off the charts.
So, yeah, I know. It is insane. It's too expensive. I even went to Norcrosss town hall, and I said to him, I said, New Jersey's like a prison. I said, because you tax people out of their houses. I mean, that's why I can't believe they elected Manani in New York. That was the dumbest freaking thing ever. So they're going to learn the hard way. But I said, New Jersey feels like a prison because you tax people out of their houses. The gas tax just goes up automatically now. That's thanks to Steve Sweeney.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even matter if they need it. The tolls go up automatically now too, but just set clock when they go up. So the people can't afford to live here. Then they're going to say, you know what? I want to leave. No, we're going to tax you on the way out if you leave. It's like the movie Bronx Tale when somebody goes, now you can't leave.
Now you can't leave, and you lock the door. Well, this is what it's such a shame because the Republican Party has been making some ground here. There was not too long ago, Damon, we had 800,000 or 900,000 registered Republicans in the state. Now we have 1.6 million. We basically doubled. Unfortunately, though, it's not enough to get control of the state house because we still have many more Democrats. And fraud, of course, I think there's a little bit of fraud you can sprinkle in there. But we still have a ways to go to pick up some more ground, and hopefully we can do it. There's still people out there that we have to win over, but we do it with ideas, big ideas. We have to really make sure that people are educated, that they're aware, and that they know the difference between the parties. And sometimes those are three hurdles that are difficult to clear sometimes.
Yeah, they're definitely difficult. So I know we're not winning over Jimmy Myers over there, but that's fine. He can keep running with it, dude.
What do you say? High food prices? Well, here's the fact. Joe Biden's administration gave us not only an open border and declining wages, but a 40-year high 9% inflation rate, 8% interest rates. Now, where is it? A secure border, rising wages for the American people, a 2.4% inflation rate, and interest rates around 6%, 2 full points lower, making home ownership more affordable to more Americans. I mean, I'm looking at the left. I'm thinking, they either lack honesty or they just can't see clearly the economy was in much more worse shape under Biden. I mean, you talk about food prices being high. What were they under 9% inflation?
Yeah.
They're 2.4 now. The cost of housing with an 8% interest rate. How about at 6? Like what, are they that detached, or they know that enough people are that they would believe a soundbite when they hear it? And that's always a problem. An educated voter can be your best friend, but we have some low information voters out there.
Yeah, there's one right now, I would say, that I'm seeing. But anyway, I want to talk about Iran, like how we were with the war in Iran. Now, listen, of course, Donald Trump was the no war president. He was trying to stop wars. But then when I look at it, listen, I do support what we're doing in Iran because they can't have a nuke. I mean, anyone that screams death to America constantly, and they're trying to build a nuclear weapon, and it's a radical. Listen, I'm not saying anything about Muslims, but radical anybody, radical white nationalist, radical Muslim, radical whatever it may be. If you're radical and it's tied to a religion too, to where you think I'm going to die and live with whatever it is, 72 virgins or something like that, and they
72 virgins, yeah,
paradise. That's dangerous. I wouldn't want to have a nuclear weapon, so I'm okay with it, and I'm just as long as I know boots are on the ground now, minimum. As long as it ends very soon, and I think it's going to, and I think it will help the United States. It chokes off China with their oil and Russia as well, so it's a tactical move for us against our enemies. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I fully support this 1,000%. It's long overdue. It should have been done decades ago. As a young boy in the Navy, I sat in that Persian Gulf at age 19 in 1985 on a destroyer to monitor the Iran-Iraq war. And it's a very dangerous part of the world, always has been. So our thoughts and prayers are always with our military that are engaged over in that part of the world. But this is long overdue. I mean, again, if you look at the left, they can't bring themselves to take the side of Trump and America. They're allergic to it. They just won't do it. This should have been done a long time ago. It's not the Iranian people, it's the government. It's the mullahs that have hijacked that country. Our young people miss a lot of this picture that, since November of 1979, when they overran our embassy, it was one of the first salvos of radical Islamic terror waging war in America. They overran our embassy in Tehran. They held 52 Americans hostage for 444 straight days. And every day since the November of 79 takeover, Damon, Iran has done nothing except export destabilizing the Middle East, war, terror, murder, oppression, tyranny, assassination, threats. I mean, you have to understand their mindset with their sect of Islam is that they are looking possibly themselves to usher in a cataclysmic event to bring back the 12th Imam. Well, no thanks to that, pal. I'll take a pass on that one. But this is the mindset you're dealing with. They don't value life; they value death, and they've slaughtered hundreds of thousands of their own people. They've caused more death in the Middle East than you could shake a stick at. They have founded, organized, trained, funded, and planned for their proxies that do nothing but wage war throughout the world. Houthis, Southern Kingdom of the Arabian Peninsula, Hamas. Even though they're a Sunni group, Hezbollah, the Party of God, the Shiite in Lebanon, and they are, they have agents in our country. We know that they've crossed Biden's open border. They've threatened to assassinate. They tried to assassinate Donald Trump. They threatened to kill him again. I mean, they're an unstable train wreck of demonic hell. And for anyone to not see that, they need to be removed from power. They cannot stay. They're too close to obtaining a nuclear weapon. If they get a nuclear weapon, they will use it, whether they have a delivery system that's sophisticated like an ICBM, or they can tip a Shahab missile. They can tip a Shahab missile with nuclear weapon. They could float it they could launch it off a seagoing vessel that's around 200 foot in length. They could float it off that ship off the coast of North America. They could launch the nuclear tipped Shahab 3 missile. That thing detonates 300 miles over the North American continent, and there's your electromagnetic pulse attack that would literally collapse Western civilization. These people will use a nuclear weapon if they get it, or they can use a dirty bomb through a proxy. I mean, to me, they got too close, to be honest with you. It should have been done decades ago. They have contributed nothing to civilization and nothing to this world except hate, anger, war, oppression, tyranny, murder, assassination, and terrorism.
Yeah, and Trump actually brought it up in the late 80s. He talked about Iran. He's consistent. He was consistent all the way through. And I don't know, maybe another president had the guts to do it, but I think it needed to be done. And I keep looking at this Myers guy to making me laugh. He's talking about cult, Socialist Republic. Listen, I'm going to give you a little bit of time here because you're funny. Your TDS is like unbelievable. So
no, Damon, if you look at this problem, now this really is the policy of escalation to de-escalate. If you want a stable Middle East, if you want a much more manageable Middle East, if you want a more peaceful world, you have to take out the mullahs in Iran. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. If you really want to get to the root of the problem, anything else, you're putting a Band-Aid on it. You want to get to the root of the problem, you knock out the mullahs in Tehran, you'll have a much more stable and peaceful world, especially in the Middle East.
Yeah. I mean, look at the surrounding countries. I mean, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and even Iraq are actually helping out. They want to get rid of the Ayatollah, and they don't, they're kind of getting on board a little bit, and that's a good thing for once. Maybe finally we could take a step forward over the Middle East and 10 steps backwards. Maybe. I hope and I pray that it does, but we'll see.
A lot of work to do, a long way to go, but you can't do it with Iran running the show.
No.
And back in before Syria collapsed under Bashar al-Assad, and that was the conduit from Tehran through Syria into the Middle East. That was the training, the funding, the weapons, the organization, the material. That's what caused so much destabilization in the Middle East. So you really need to get to the root of the problem, and this is how you do it. It's difficult. It's a heavy lift, but if you want to cut off, nip it in the bud, you want to rip it out by its roots, rip it up out of the ground by its roots. This is what you have to do. This is leadership. This is tough. It's leadership, but it should be done.
No, you're right. I agree. So, all right, Justin, we're going to take another quick break, go into the last segment, and we'll see you guys when we get back.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Join the revolution, because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
So, all right, welcome back to Hammer 4. This is No Kings Norcrosss. So, trust, as you know, they're having No Kings protests again throughout the country and throughout this state. And there's one in Kansas City tomorrow. It's going to be at 5th and Market. I'll show everyone the flyer at the end. There's a little different song ending I'm going to have at the after this podcast, so stay tuned for that. But it'll be 5th and Market, Roosevelt Park, and Don Norcross is going to be there with the paid protesters. Now, I'm going to tell you how I know they're paid. It is ran by Cooper River Indivisible. Now, I would just say Cooper Hospital. Norcross's brother George is he's a chairman of that board there, and I went to a Tesla protest back in March with our producer and I, Damon. It's the man behind the curtain there. We went to interview people because they were disrupting all kinds of stuff. I just want to know, hey, why are you here? Why are you disrupting dealerships? So I pulled over and I parked, and then I saw these buses pulling up, and people were the first person off was somebody with like a high vis, like a vest on, just like this, like a very bright yellow, like the construction workers wear. And all the people get off the bus. They get off all the bus. They have a leader for every bus team, and they start walking up to the dealership. And I just happened to mingle in with the crowd. And when I did, they were handing out literature and stuff like that, saying, telling people what to do as far as call Trump a fascist, Elon Musk a fascist, and all that. And then I found that they had a voucher, and the voucher said, Tesla protester, make sure you go to Cooper River Indivisible, pick up your $250 check. So that's what it was for. Mm-hmm. So they're paid to go there.
They're paid. Look, we know this now. Money coming from Soros and Neville Singham. The left, this is a planned, organized, funded, trained. Chinese call it social disintegration. They're in on it too.
Yes, they are.
And this is they're trying to destroy the country. They're fomenting violence, and this is under the guise of activism. I just posted on this the other day, Damon, from a Fox News digital investigation that really traces all this money back to the same culprits and suspects. This is an organized, trained, planned effort to really try to culturally destabilize America.
Yeah, I hear you there. So, so they're funded tomorrow, so they're going to be there all day, and I'm going to go there, and we're going to have it like an that kind of protest, for No Kings Norcross protest. That's what it's going to be. Because, like I said before in the monologue, there's no term limits in Congress. So Norcross has been in Congress since 2014. He's been in multiple offices since 2010. And so he's been there for a while. Now, you're going to protest No Kings Donald Norcross. Donald Trump. But he gets termed out in 3 years. So he's not going to be a king. It's stupid. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. Hopefully people show up tomorrow. So I'm asking people to show up and come there. I'm going to go there and got some good stuff that, for Mr. Norcross that's going to be there, my opponent.
Well, you hope so. I mean, the people that go in support of you or the obvious are not paid.
Oh, no. I got to beg them, just like begging Republicans to come out to vote.
It's tough. There's, being engaged civics as a matter of civics, Damien, it's hard. People need to be motivated for it. They need to have time to do it, the energy for it, the focus, the consistency. It's tough to continually, fight back. And this is something the left is planning on, that people are just tired and become worn down and then just stay on the sidelines and be quiet. And this is where we just have to equal and then exceed their intensity. The left is very. I said this before, like going back to the governor's race last year, when people asked me what I thought if Jack Ciattarelli had a chance to win, and I said, I will tell you this: the Democrat Party has attached a real sense of urgency to these midterm elections and to last year's government because they did so poorly in November of 24. And their sense of urgency is just that they hate Donald Trump. That's their message. But it's a motivator for their base. It doesn't really get them independent and undeclared voters, unaffiliated. They don't need them in New Jersey because they have enough registered Democrats. If they just get their base out, it's very difficult for us to win. But they attach a real sense of urgency with this, where not only do they need to stop Donald Trump, but they see it as an opportunity to potentially impeach him yet again for a third time and obstruct his administration, which is what they will do. Now, hopefully, come November, that will not happen. But time will tell. It always does.
Yeah, I know. The main thing is getting the message out there. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we have the network. The mainstream media doesn't do the job. But
no, if anything, they parrot them. I mean, the coverage of this girl shot in Chicago is really, if you look at ABC, CBS, NBC, it's a matter of seconds, minutes, if not seconds. They just pay no attention to the story because it clashes with their narrative. It builds, it reinforces what Donald Trump has been saying, that we have a problem in this country with violent illegal immigrants running around, inflicting pain and horror and misery on American citizens, and it needs to be dealt with. And they in no way, shape, or form will ever support that. So they ignore it, which is why I said to you earlier, you would be shocked at the number of people that were really not even aware that the border was a crisis last year. Not even aware. And it's unbelievable. I mean, how many New Jerseyans were not even aware that their assembly representatives were up for election last November? How many New Jerseyans could tell you who their assembly representatives are? It's a staggering level of and degree of apathy that is very dangerous.
Yeah.
We need high rates of participation.
One good thing is I know a lot of the schools now are going to start bringing civics back. I just read that recently, which is great, to teach the kids that so they know actually what it entails and how important it is actually. Because a lot of the younger people than generation growing up, I'll be honest, being myself, I'm 44 now. When I was in my 20s, I couldn't name and anybody. I could name the president. That was about it. And the mayor of Philadelphia. When I was there.
Well, look, how many times have you watched any number of podcasters or even like Jesse Walters in Walters World? You go talk to people on the street and they're just, I mean, it's kind of funny the answers they give you, but then you realize, wait a minute, they're an adult. They're functioning in our constitutional republic. Why don't they know our country's history? Why can't they tell you who won the Civil War? Why can't they tell you who was in World War II? It's like, and they're just clueless. I was like, wait a minute, you should have learned this in high school, and it's not that difficult to retain. But they're not even being taught it, or something's going haywire. I mean, it's insanity, really. That we can't have that people to that degree detached and dysfunctional.
Well, I mean, you look at people that are flat earthers. They say, "Oh, the Earth." What? Flat Earth? We never landed on the moon. I mean, it's like,
the moon landing was fake.
and even though I use social media to put this podcast out there, I think social media is a detriment to a lot of young people because
we just had a major court case, civil litigation, where a jury found Facebook or Meta and I think maybe Instagram or Google liable for some addiction issues. And look, I'm all for that. I'm not a fan of social media. I don't like computers. Here, when you call and text me, Damon, here's my antique 4G flip phone. Okay, that I don't even like this. It does. Social media can be, it could be a very beneficial tool. You can learn a lot from it. You can learn an enormous amount. You can really open up your world, but it can also be addictive and destructive and cause an enormous amount of, consternation. I mean, people today, they get the mouse click, they buy what they see or hear on TikTok. They never question, they never think critically, they never analyze anything. I saw it on the print media, right? I saw it on YouTube, and it could be used to promote a debate, which would be good, and in some cases it does. But I think it's very dangerous. That's why I refuse to get an iPhone. I mean, I see people all day they're pulled down to this thing and they're glued to it. They live on it. They pay their bills on it. They talk to their friends on it. They send messages. They work on it. It's all they can. I'm like, I don't want to live like that. I do not. I refuse to live my life like that.
Well, that part I'm okay with. If I can pay my bill from the phone, it's great. If I can message somebody from the phone, that's great. If send a picture to somebody, it's great. All that good stuff. But and I work off of it too. Like I'll even use my smartphone for Procore, which is Procore is what we use in construction. It has all the drawings on it. So I mean, it's a little small in drawings, but if I'm out in the field, I can just pull it up and I'm look at the door number 110 or whatever hardware it gets and stuff like that. So it is good in that aspect. But I think young kids, I think it's brain rot because it doesn't, they don't get to go outside and touch grass that much.
Right. No, it does. It creates that dopamine.
That's exactly, it's a dopamine hit, and it's triggered that way, just like that lawsuit that you said. It's that dopamine hit they get, and it's wired that way for, like, even when you're scrolling down and you hear the clicks, you don't even know what you're going to see, but it's just the sound. It's a triggered dopamine hit that makes you feel good. Like, what am I going to see next? What am I going to see next?
And it does. I mean, I think it creates and facilitates this shortening of people's attention span, the instant gratification. Where they don't have patience for anything. Everything has to be a mouse click now. Donald Trump was elected. 2 days later, okay, well, why is inflation still higher? Look, sometimes things take time. I mean, not to make excuses, but life just doesn't work that way sometimes. But people are so used to the instantaneous communication, the mouse click. The photos, everything, Instagram, Threads, X, you name it. And this is how people live their lives today. And it's really like the young people. I mean, why are they so obese in many cases? Young people really unhealthy. This is one reason.
Yeah.
This is one reason.
Oh, you're right about that. I mean, whatever happened to the term Rome wasn't built in a day. They just want that instant gratification. And this is a big deal with the younger generation, even people my age. I'm in my 40s, 44 years old. A lot of people are so used to it. And I'll be honest with you, me, myself, if I were to leave my phone at home, I have before, and I'm like lost for the day. I'm like, but I get a million phone calls from work, and then my wife can't call me, and then, I can't get a text, or whatever it may be. But it is a tool. It's a great tool. And I would say that we're used to it enough to where we do need it to function in certain aspects of life with jobs and everything else. But I think they should, no more lawsuits or whatever, because even though I'll go this way first. I think they should have a ban, just like they have for like buying cigarettes or alcohol, whatever. 18 years old, not allowed on social media until you're 18.
But how do you enforce that? I mean, you can't.
It'll be so tough. They'll make it on fake.
But
it's more on the parent. The parent needs to do that. Like my children, are 12 and 7, and they're not on social media at all. Now my daughter has a phone, but she has it because she walks to school. It's right down the street, and I have Life 360, so it tracks her. It lets me know when she gets to school, when she's back. No, it's more for safety stuff, and then she does friends and stuff like that. But
Damon, I think about when I grew up as a kid, I could walk the streets till it was dark, or I could run around the woods here. My mother had no idea where I was, and I would come home basically at a decent hour, and I think back about it like, wow. But I see it today. We've got so many issues with children and abduction and trafficking. You can't live like that now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. There's just too much going on. I have cameras outside my house and everything else. We've had threats before, especially when we try to get in the public eye too, as well. And it worries me about the kids, but I talk to them a lot and go over it. But it's all about parenting. So that's why they don't have a social media account or anything like that. My son wants to be a YouTuber. I'm like,
wants to be a what?
A YouTuber.
YouTuber.
Yeah, have a YouTube account, like because he watches kids YouTube. And he said, I could be a YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, okay, pump the brakes, buddy. I said, go outside.
Yeah, go outside and play, get some sunshine, and
touch some grass, and I got him into sports and all that. So, and he likes baseball, street hockey, plays. My daughter, same thing. She plays multiple sports as well. But you have to have the human interaction, and a lot of it.
Absolutely, and the physical aspect too. I mean, if you're sedentary all day, you will be obese. Not to mention the diet's not good, and Starbucks. I mean, you drink a Starbucks drink, you know how much sugar is in. Look, I have a sweet tooth. I'm the first to tell you, but I bought a Shamrock Shake about 5 years ago. For just being a Murphy, I was driving by McDonald's. I said, "Let me get a green Shamrock Shake. I'm a Murphy. I deserve one." It was pretty good. And I went home and I looked online, McDonald's, the ingredients for a Shamrock Shake. Damon, if you ate an entire pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream or Ben & Jerry's, the pints, you would ingest about 80 grams of sugar. This Shamrock Shake, the large one that I got, had over 120 grams of sugar.
Wow.
Nuclear blast. I'm like, whoa. Starbucks drinks, same thing. All the whipped cream and everything. It's and not to mention, I don't think the caffeine is good for anybody. It's an addictive drug.
Yeah.
So, you look at the health of children. This is why I'm very happy that Donald Trump has elevated to a national discussion and cabinet level the discussion of this country's health, because it's long overdue. We're not as healthy as we should be. Our food supply is junked up, and our kids are not healthy. There's a large number of kids coming out of high school that do not qualify for military service because they're in such bad shape physically.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Bad.
So, I see that Joan in 1972. I believe that's Seth. He says hammer. So, yeah, there goes Seth. There it is for you. But yeah. So, anyway, just because we got to wrap it up here. So we're going to go into segment 4 in just a minute, and that's just going to be a quick segment to go over a few things. We're going to do Patriot and Loser of the Week. But I just want to say tomorrow there is that event in Camden, and it'll play after this, and so you guys can see it. And as many people as can to show up, because Donald Norcross, I mean, he is. Listen, Doc, I'm not going to slander anybody or anything, but his brothers were indicted 3 times. His family was for tax dollars that came in somehow went through the firm, and for racketeering. But they beat it 3 times. I'm just saying, there's questions. You don't get indicted that many times if there's no evidence to bring forward. You know what I mean? So.
Well, his brother was a very powerful chairman. And if you look at the Gural tapes, Gural, the Gural tapes, there was a story that ran in the Courier Post. It was a series of stories in the Courier Post run by Alan Gunther some years ago called the Gural tapes, Gural, the Gural tapes. And you see in there the corruption in that particular organization, in that particular county with those particular people. And how bad it is.
Yeah, and Camden City has been hurting for years.
You would think somebody might come up with an idea. Let's try something different.
Yeah, it's been 60, 70 years they've been trying to build Camden up, and then just corruption after corruption. I'm moving about the one mayor. John said Fredo. I called Norcross Fredo from the brother, because he's the dumb brother. Didn't make it.
Fredo.
But he's still a congressman, though, but his brother's got him into that.
No, that's the district.
I used to do it as a joke. So
anybody with a D next to their name will win that seat.
Yeah. Well, not this time.
Yeah, this time we'll do it different. Hopefully, we'll get a change there, and we'll get people out, and we can get some people who are unaffiliated to take some interest in these seats and races. And the uphill climb that is.
Yeah, just have to get to the people. He has. the amount of money he has, like 2.3 million in his treasury account already, and only 1% of his donations come from small dollar donations from people. The rest come from PACs. My own damn union won't even back me. I pay into the political action committee, and so I'm actually funding my opponent right now. So I sent him a letter, and I said I'm not paying into it anymore. I'm not funding my own opponent, because I should be able to get money, but they're backing him, and that's the carpenters union. But not every union is that way. The carpenters do back Republicans, but in different areas. Operating engineers, it depends. But my union backs Norcross because he's got such a stronghold around here. It's the most powerful family in the state, and I mean they're big. So I'm going up against the juggernaut. But I'll tell you what, somebody has to do it. So it's no one else is going to do it. I'll do it. And this is in Vegas. I didn't come to lose. So,
well, like I said, it's an uphill battle for everybody. I think the only really safe, Chris Smith and Van Drew are probably pretty safe. Even Tom Kaine is going to have a tough time. Whoever we nominate for U.S. Senate is really looking up a mountain. We all know that. Your race is difficult, but you never know. You got to keep fighting.
Yeah. What else is it worth it? So
you have to keep fighting.
So everybody, you'll see the flyer at the end of this, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll go to segment 4, to quick loser and Patriot of the Week award.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
All right, everybody, we're back to quick segment 4, well, Hammer 4, because that's watching, so I got to call it Hammer. He's the one to name me that. No, but anyway, so we're going to go into, we'll start with the Patriot of the Week award. Let's roll that.
The Jersey Shore podcast presents this week's Patriot Award. It goes to Alicia Neal Lewak.
That's Alicia Neal. You know Alicia, Camden County, Woodford. So she figured, and she's doing a lot of good things out there. So I figured she should get the Patriot of the Week award. She works hard for the Republican Party. So gave that to her. I let her know. So hopefully she's watching. If not, she can catch it later.
Alicia, they are the Federated Women of Camden County, Republican Federated Women. Fantastic group. It's great to be there last night. And always a good show. And they do work hard. They're dedicated. They're unwavering. Big plus.
Yeah, for sure. And I did miss like a couple clips, but it doesn't matter. One of them I was going to put up there earlier when you mentioned Fetterman can tackle his own party. He's under fire because you guys can look it up. There's a Facebook post that he put out there. He was hammering people because people in Philadelphia, my hometown where I'm from, because they're all nuts out there now. They were cheering our server. There it is.
Yeah.
So it's slamming his own party after left-wing protesters in Philadelphia were caught on camera celebrating the deaths of U.S. service members in Iran. He said it's truly appalling. He said these assholes chanting for the death of our service members. Fetterman said, "Where's the damn outrage and condemnation?" So I'll give it to him. And listen, he's a Reagan Democrat. I would say he's common sense. Now, I agree with all of his policies and what he wants to do, but
that's. I mean, I personally, and I don't think the American people, the ones that are tuning in, I don't expect anything else from the left. These are paid protesters. They're pro-Palestinian. They're pro-Islamic radicalism. They're pro whatever else they can be, but they're anti-American. They're anti-Trump. They're anti-capitalism, anti-white people. They're anti-men. They're anti-free markets. They're anti-conservative. They're anti-Republican. They're anti-American. I mean, it's anti-law enforcement, anti-ICE. This is what they do. I mean, to stand and say that it's so despicable. And this is where the Republican Party really needs to step up and point this out and say, this is the America the left wants you to live in. This is what you need to be in a voting booth this November and this June 2nd. And we just have to keep pushing until we can get the breakthrough where we get an increase in turnout. But we've got to start connecting this. Like the RNC should be running ads in major media markets across the country with things like this and saying, this is your contemporary Democrat Party, calling and cheering and celebrating the death of American servicemen. This is the left, period.
Then that is absolutely disgusting. I mean, that is
horrible. It's despicable. Comprehensible.
Yeah, I know. I just can't believe it. And thank God.
You know what, Damon? The grandparents of those punks in Philadelphia were the ones throwing bags of urine at Vietnam veterans when they come home. It probably runs in the family. You know, I mean, you want to protest peacefully, but to celebrate the death of an American soldier is, but it's the left.
I know. I just can't wrap my head around it because
I mean, most normal people can't, not capable.
No, and one thing I can't wrap my head around. Well, we have a left wing media source here, the New Jersey Globe, and so I'm just saying this now because the loser week is coming up right now. Somebody that put it out. So now I am on the ballot. They had until 4:00 today to challenge the petition. So, but on one of their podcasts, and then followed up with an article saying that Norcross is going to challenge my petition, and I'll be removed from being on the ballot when I had more than enough signatures. But
did he challenge you?
No. Okay. No. So, but because I even they did, I would have heard now. By now, I would have because I talked to them. They called me about the slogans for the counties, and I just asked a question about the challenges after I saw the article and saw their podcast, the Globe, and they said no one challenged you. They said, well, you'll know by 5:00. We'll contact you, and no, we did. So guess what? I'm still on the ballot. So this to the loser of the week,
New Jersey Globe.
Oh.
The Jersey Shore Podcast presents this week's Loser Award. It goes to Joey Fox.
Losers! 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 Losers!
Oh, shut up!
So there you go, Joe, and you'll be receiving a text from me shortly, just to let you know I'm still on the ballot, buddy. So,
was he calling for a challenge to your petition?
Yeah, yeah. We were calling for a challenge they did a podcast about it, and I forget the other guy's name. He was a moderator for the gubernatorial debates. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Like I said, I'm horrible with names. But yeah, they were both talking about. There were 4 of them on the podcast, and then the next day puts an article out there saying, well, Norcross is going to do this, and then he won't be off the ballot. I'm like, all right, well, how much do you want him to do it? I mean, really? Can you stay like a little in the middle and not be so biased? But whatever. So, Joe, you're the loser of the week. Sorry, buddy. So, this is what it is. But so, all right, right from here, I want to talk about this event for Pennies in Action that's coming up.
Oh, great. When?
It's coming up on the 18th, April 18th, but this one's in Malvern, PA.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit far from Jersey. I mean, like 40 minutes from here where I'm at. But it's Pennies in Action is very important. It's so far it has saved my sister's life. It saved for breast cancer.
Wow.
They raise money for this immunotherapy. It's and it's a new treatment. It's not out there yet, but it's just like in its primary stages and trial stages. But it has been working. They've been curing stage 4 cancer, which was never curable before, and it seemed to be working for my sister. And thank God, I can't
blessing. Good to know.
Steve DiOrio, thank you, Steve, for introducing me to that. So anybody wants to donate to that or go to the event, this one's in Malvern, but we there's another one again, like a few months later, in Vineland, New Jersey as well. But anything you guys can do to donate towards that, I will pick that over donating towards my campaign. I do need you to donate towards my campaign, but I will if you want to do that first, I'll take that, no problem, because it's saving people's lives. So now we're going to go into the candidates real quick. So I wonder who this one's going to be. Oh,
whoa!
So
hope he wins.
You want to talk? You want to talk about this guy and tell people where they can find you?
Well, with running for U.S. Senate on June 2nd, Republican Party will nominate someone to run against Cory Booker. I hope that's me, the nominee. We're going to bring a lot of conservative principles, inspire people to vote for us, and stop letting Democrats define us. We'll be on offense very optimistically. We had a good first year under Donald Trump. We're going to have a great year this year, and we will espouse and expound what has been good about the Trump administration and where we're taking all the right steps to protect the country and make sure that the American citizens are secure and that we have parental rights at our forefront, medical freedom, economic security, economic opportunity. You can find me, look at my Senate pledge, Jersey Justin, number 4, Senate.org, Jersey Justin for Senate.org. We hope to see you there. You can check out my Senate pledge. And if you are inclined, we'd love to have you volunteer and help us put together neighborhood coffee, make a small donation, get us a couple books of stamps. We'll keep mail going out. However you can help us. Look us up on our website.
So, all right. Well, who's this guy? Oh man, even better.
Damon. Is that the Ben Franklin Bridge that you built?
Yeah, I didn't build that one. I wasn't alive yet.
I think that was built in the Depression, 1930s, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know when it was. I never even looked it up. I know it's
a long time ago. But it's a Philadelphia fixture.
Yes, it is.
We need to get Damon elected. Damon, I always say this, and a new generation of Americans serving in Washington. We keep sending the same recycled career politicians back. It never works for us.
No, you're absolutely right about that. So that's me, guys. It's votedamongaldo.com. Like I said, if you can click on that donate button, you go in there. My opponent already has $2.3 million in his treasury account. I have like $2.3. A little bit more than that, but not that, but close to it. So, but anyway, if you go to the website, and also I just linked an apparel to my website as well. So it'll take you to. You won't leave the website, but it'll take you to Printify, and I have shirts and hoodies and I'll have hats in there soon. And basically everything that you buy from there, I'll get like 10% towards my campaign. So whatever the cost of it is, 10% goes towards my campaign. So, and plus, you look good in wearing the Built by Working Hands T-shirt or hoodie, and Damon Galdo for Congress. So, but thank you all for listening and people are watching. So let's go to the next one. All right, that's Van Drew. Everyone loves Van Drew. I don't know anybody that says anything bad about him. He's a great congressman. He's the most down-to-earth person I ever met. So and he'll talk to anybody. That's what's great about him. And his policies are awesome, and he'll go the extra mile. So that's Jeff there. You can look him up. He's awesome. So we go to the next one. Jason Cullen, he's the man. Jason, I talked to him a lot. He's been on the podcast a couple times. He's run the 3, and so I like Jason a lot. He has some opponents, and some of his opponents I do like too, but I'm friendly with. But I've been working with Jason for a while, and I think he's the best candidate. So Jason is awesome. I can't wait till he's on the next time. You mentioned Chris Smith earlier too. There's Chris Smith there. So I haven't spoken to him personally, but you know the platform, see what he's about and all that stuff. So next one. Hillary Herzig. We were just talked her up in Trenton. She's awesome. And she's a fighter. I like her a lot. So that's Hillary. She's running in 6. So for the next one. And then you talked about Tom King Jr. as well. They say we might have a little bit of a tough run, but I think he's going to get by it. So, but Tom is a good guy. I don't know him personally. I've met him once, but go on the platform and see what he's about, and you'll understand. So, next one, Tiffany Burst. We talked to her as well on that Zoom call. She's awesome. She's fighting hard. So, Tiffany, you go on her platform, look at everyone that comes up on here. Just go to their platform. Like, take your time to go to their website, and everything's on there. You'll see what they're about, see what they stand for.
Yeah, she's running up in the 9th up in North Jersey, I guess, right?
Yeah, she did 9.
9th
Yeah.
district.
Mm-hmm. And then we have next one here. We have Carmen Bucco. Again, I don't know him personally, but I seen his platform and what he's about. I like him, so I'm putting him up here. Then we have Joe Hathaway. He's running it. I think it's the special election in April.
April 16th, I think it is.
Yeah.
This is for the seat that Mikey Sherrill vacated to take over the governor's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we can steal this seat. I hope that we can.
Yeah, I hope so too. So everybody, that's an important seat, especially it's going to be in April, this election, District 11. He gets that. That might pave the way for some more Republicans to get elected. So, and then we have Greg Millay here. Greg's a great guy. Love him to death. So he's probably on a Zoom call right now because I've seen a couple texts go by asking why I'm not on it. I guess they don't realize I'm on the podcast. But no, Greg's a good guy. He's running the 12. He's got a hard race too.
Sure. Yeah, the 12.
And Greg, don't worry. I gave Joey Fox the loser of the week if you watch this because I know he was trashing you as well.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Well, Justin, thank you very much. We got a different song. Usually we played a different. The one song went way out, but I made up a different one just for tomorrow's event. So hopefully everyone comes out to that. As many people as possible. Remember, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. 5th and Market in Camden, Roosevelt Park. We're doing a counter protest to the Trump No Kings protest, and we're gonna say No Norcross King protest. That's basically what it's going to be. So we got a lot of stuff set up. I just hope people show up. That's the thing. I know there's going to be plenty of people there, but I want a lot. I want a lot of people to show up. That's what we need because he's going to be there. The news media is going to be there. Mainstream media. Our podcast is going to be there. Jersey Shore Podcast, America's Pulse Network, our great producer, man behind the curtain. He's going to be there with his camera. So we're trying to get as many people out there to come, and let's do it. I mean, we have to do something. We have to get out there. We have to be active. It's a Saturday. Hopefully not a lot of people have work, but this is important. It's important to take back, our state and get these long-term Democrat incumbents out and get common sense people in.
Yeah. No, the voter is out there. We have to just get their attention and get them to the polls. It's obviously exceedingly difficult, but we always have to fight the good fight. And I know you're doing. This is your second or third run, so you're putting it out there for everybody in the first, and hope they respond. I hope they respond positively.
I hope so. But you never know. I mean, I just keep pushing and try to get the message out there. And I know you have been doing it. I mean, hell, you had a hell of a time with your signatures going up and down the state. 2,500 to get. So.
Yeah, as of now, Damon, I can report I don't detect any challenges to me. I haven't seen anything come through. I'll check my emails again. I don't have any calls. So that's I think we're okay. I'll feel better Sunday or Monday morning, but everything seems okay. I don't detect any challenges in my petition. So as of yet,
you would have heard by now from what I was told. So
yeah, I think so. So there, I guess we'll be on the ballot. We're going to run hard. We're going to be up in Somerset County campaigning tomorrow, which is good to always be up North Jersey. And we've already been knocking on doors in Camden County, Burlington County, Ocean County, We'll be doing obviously a lot more. Gloucester County, we've got a great ground game down there with Frank Cibatoni. He's a fantastic field director. Can't ask for any more. And so we'll give it the best shove that we got. It's a competitive primary, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then just want to put it out there. I don't have the flyer yet, but Ann was putting together Long Branch. So you probably know about already. May 2nd.
May 2nd, Long Branch. I'm confirmed. I will be there.
Yeah, so I will have the flyer on the podcast and the next time. She's getting it together now, so I just want to throw it out there. So, all right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And let's get our state back, please.
Damon, yeah, thank you for having me on. It's always great, and we'll talk to you soon.
It's my pleasure, buddy. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, take care.
Right, sign off.
No Kings in Camden. No Kings protest. Damon Galdo in the building. Third time's the charm. South Jersey, we done with the crowd. Let's go. Yo. Down in Camden where the block still scarred. Norcrosss machine got the city on lock. Playing God, tax credits to the family. Insiders get the bag while the real workers grind and the rent still drag. Donald Talk Union, waved the flag real proud, but his hands never bled, never swung, no hammer loud. Me, Damon Galdo, construction on my back, sweat in my boots, dirt under the nails. Facts. Philadelphia raised across the river, moved to West Deptford. Now it's time to deliver. Jersey Shore podcast in the cut. Third time running NJ1. I ain't giving up. They laugh at the outsider. Say I got no chance, but the machine been exposed. Time for the people stance. You can wear the jacket, flash the union pin, but we see the game, we ain't buying. Streets talk real, bars stay lit. South Jersey know it's time to flip the script. No king, no king. In Camden Town, South Jersey machine getting shut down. No, you ain't royalty. Damon Galdo coming for that seat. This our sovereignty. No king, no king. We break the chain. Machine run quiet, but we bring the pain. You can claim the trade, but the sweat ain't yours. Real worker rising. Damon Galdo roar. No king. South Jersey machine. Headline screen racketeering, waterfront deals in the dark. Norcrosss name ring like a king on the park. Brother pull string, same last name in the game. Dynasty politics, all the same. They say we save Camden, ain't it all clean, but the block's still hungry, the truth in between. I'm the one who built it, hammer in my hand. Now some suited puppet with a family, playing from the Delaware shore to the Philly line. Damon Galdo for Congress, it's our time. No more crowns, no more backroom kings. We the people rise and let the church bells ring. Protest in Camden, signs high, fists up. No King's banner, Damon got the people's trust. Working hands built this, blood, sweat, and tears. Damon in the fight, no more wasted years. No king, no king. In Camden Town, South Jersey machine getting shut down. Donald Norcross, you ain't royalty. Damon Galdo coming for that seat, this our sovereignty. No king, no king. We break the chain. Machine run quiet, but we bring the pain. You can claim the trade, but the sweat ain't yours. Real worker rising. Damon Galdo roars. No king. South Jersey machine. No king. South Jersey machine. No king. South Jersey machine. No kings. South Jersey machine. No king. Machine. Running quiet behind the scenes. No king. But Damon Galdo woke the streets. No more kings in these New Jersey dreams. Donald, step back. The crown don't fit. Construction man coming bit by bit. No kings. Damon Galdo. No kings. In Camden Town, South Jersey machine getting shut down. Donald Norcross, your time is done. Damon Galdo for Congress, we the only ones. No kings. We break the chain. Machine exposed. Feel the flame. You can wear the jacket, claim the name, but the real sweat built this and Damon reclaim. No king. South Jersey machine. No king. South Jersey machine. No king. South Jersey machine. Damon. No kings. 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 Damon Galdo, we the voice now. Protest strong. South Jersey, stand up.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.